This new scout rifle, it's not good. This is the 6th premier scout rifle in Destiny 2 by veteran game developers Bungie, known for their first-person shooters Halo and Destiny. This scout rifle follows the latest releases, Randy's throwing knife, Symmetry, and Dead Man's Tale. While Randy's throwing knife was a breath of fresh air in a suffocating room, Symmetry tried to change things up a little bit in a mostly interesting way. However, with the release of Dead Man's Tale, Bungie went to more of an old-school approach, sort of a Destiny 1 approach when designing it, and it has been released to almost universal acclaim. Many veterans of the franchise will know this weapon from the first version of the game where it was first released. In the most recent season, Bungie has re-released this scout rifle into the weekly Nightfall weapon playlist rotation, perhaps in an attempt to hit some of that nostalgia, especially with the re-release of Vault of Glass, the very first raid in Destiny 1, coming very soon. When this weapon was first released in Destiny 1, many players were very, very excited about it, especially because scout rifles were one of the best archetypes in the game, and the first appearance of this scout rifle featured very, very highly requested perks by the community. This made it a go-to weapon for both casual and hardcore players alike throughout the lifespan of Destiny 1. However, with its re-release in Destiny 2, it has not exactly seen the same amount of success as it did in Destiny 1. Before we really talk about it further, we should probably go over potential perk rolls. In the first column, we have perks like Subsistence, Moving Target,
Rapid Hit,
Heating Up, Bottomless Grief, and Surplus. In the second column of perks, we have things like Adrenaline Junkie, Box Breathing, Explosive Payload, Wellspring, One for All, and Firefly, which is a very rare perk in the grand scheme of the game. There are certainly a lot of appealing perk rolls that can be rolled on this very scout rifle. You have things like Rapid Hit and Subsistence probably taking the cake in the first column of perks, but in the second column, almost anything will do. I would prioritize One for All, Firefly, or Explosive Rounds, as this is going to be more of a workhorse weapon and not really something designed to take on majors or bosses or anything like that. The community as a whole really seems to enjoy Explosive Payload, so that's what I imagine most people are going to be going for, and potentially Firefly as well, due to its rarity in the game. For the PvP side of the game, Box Breathing may be appealing to a lot of players due to its ability to enable 3 taps on enemy players. Heating Up is also proving to be quite a potent perk, but I'm not sure how much you really need it on something like a scout rifle due to their inherent stability already. Otherwise, nothing really seems to stand out that aggressively in the first column of perks for PvP. Maybe if you wanted to go Rapid Hit, I suppose you could do that. So from the perk selections, it certainly seems like Hung Jury would be able to hold its own against other more widely available weapons available in the loot pool today. And if we're talking about core or seasonal playlist activities, I think you would be correct. Most activities in the game don't really demand any sort of strict loadout, which enables players to use almost whatever they want to use in any given moment. However, with Season 14 having such a great weapon selection, both in terms of ease of availability and great perks, it's really tough to suggest using Hung Jury to anyone besides a D1 nostalgia fanatic. You look at weapons like Chroma Rush or Grid Skipper or Ignition Code, all of these weapons have potential to be some of the top weapons in the game, and all it takes is a couple of trips to Override in order to get them. What Hung Jury does have going for it is the seasonal mod Energy Accelerant, which boosts the capability of Firefly, and scout rifles also have anti-barrier rounds again this season, enabling a safe, long-range option to fight barrier champions in the highest tier content. However, since Energy Accelerant is currently disabled right now because it's broken, we can't exactly do a lot of testing on it, and even if we could, I'm not really expecting a whole lot from it. Now, perhaps not good is a little harsh. Most weapons in the game are usable to varying degrees, and I think if you were using something like Hung Jury in day-to-day gameplay, I don't think you would be affected in any sort of a negative way. But there are a few issues that I have with Hung Jury. Number one, it's a 180 RPM scout rifle, which is one of the worst variants in the game. 2, Destiny 2 scouts are nothing like Destiny 1 scouts. And number 3, Dead Man's Tale. In Destiny 1, you could use a scout rifle in any piece of content, and it was a good idea. You had a wide range of scout rifles to pick from Burning Eye to Vision of Confluence to, well, hung jury. In Destiny 2, well, scouts are not like how they were in Destiny 1, and Bungie has taken a different philosophy when it comes to long-range damage, which means that most scout rifles are going to feel pretty weak. Scout rifles take a very long time to kill things in high difficulty content, to the point where most of the time it's worth taking that extra risk picking a riskier weapon for a greater reward. It's not so much that hung jury is bad, so much that it is the entire weapon class is bad, at least all of the legendary variants. Not to mention, we still have something like Night Watch available in the game, which comes with a slew of good perks and doesn't require you to farm the Nightfall in order for you to get it. Finally, we have the elephant in the room, Dead Man's Tale. Dead Man's Tale is the best scout rifle that Destiny 2 has ever seen, and in my opinion, is one of the best primary weapons in the entire game. It has versatility with its perk roll, allowing you to specialize in the exact thing that you want to be using the gun with. It has an amazing catalyst that enables faster rate of fire and supremely high accuracy with hipfire, and its main perk just boosts its potential even more, increasing your damage with every single crit that you get. The only negative that it really has is that it's exotic, which means you can't use other exotics in something like the GM Nightfall, but that hasn't stopped me from seeing a ton of success in Grandmaster Nightfalls. That brings us to PvP. The Scout Rifle's main downfall in Destiny 2 right now is that most maps are not really designed for Scout Rifle play, barring maybe 1, 2, 3 maps, and then when you actually get one of those maps, you're stuck to a specific lane in order to be successful. Box breathing can enable 3 taps, but at the expense of having to stand around for a second or two in order to proc it. Not only that, but in the current PvP world, fast movement and shotguns are the name of the game, and hung jury doesn't really offer protection against either of those things, locking you to a shotgun so that you have any sort of protection whatsoever. Dead Man's Tale, on the other hand, is effective at almost all ranges of play and is a good counter against those rushing shotgunners who are coming at you with a blind fury. Dead Man's Tale can also 3-tap with 3 headshots, but can also get boosted enough to enable potential 2 shots on people with 2 crits. Through its catalyst, it offers much greater protection against shotgun rushers, meaning you're not caught fumbling for a special weapon. There is nothing that hung jury can do that Dead Man's Tale can't do so much better. Randy's throwing knife was the previous best scout rifle in the game, but that took premier perks and a 260 RPM variant in order for it to see any sort of success. Although, to be fair to Bungie, it was incredibly successful and very well liked. Hung jury just doesn't even come close to hitting those same marks as Dead Man's Tale, and until Bungie nerfs Dead Man's Tale, which I do believe that they will do at some point, or until they buff scout rifles in general, I don't really know how much I can recommend hung jury except to the most hardcore of scout rifle lovers or extremely, extremely devoted Destiny 1 fans. This new scout rifle, it's not good.